we will talk about today, we will talk about what interpreting graph, which this is lesson 6.4 in our book. Analyzing graph. What are the objects which we are going to talk about? Interpreting graph. So we can describe a relationship from a graph and also draw a graph from the description. We just determine where is the function is increasing, decreasing, or constant. We analyze the rate of a change to see if the function is changing quickly or slowly. So we have a story and we want to translate this story into a graph. So once you have a graph like this, in this graph we can say a story related to this one and what each line donated for. Then show the number of visitors during the opening weeks of the season stayed constant. So the first line here, if the line parallel with x-axis, or we will draw a line like this, so the line like this means that the number is staying the same, no change, no more, no less, it's a constant. Then for the first line, if we have any graph and we want to describe this graph donated for what, so first of all we have to change this graph into categories or into parts according to the lines. How many lines in front of us in this graph, grade 8? How many lines in front of us here? So we can
5.
5, yes. So we can count together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, right? So I have 5 lines, and we want to describe each line means what. Okay, then, and when we will say that this one it will be increasing quickly or decreasing quietly or slowly, I'm sorry, when it will be a constant. Then once you have in any graph, once you have a line parallel to x-axis, so that means that this line or this one represent the constant period. Then look at, they started from May to June. Did you see the line? It started from where? Started from where? From May to June. What happens? What this means? That means that the number of visitors during the opening weeks of the season stayed constant. What about the second one? What this means? What this means? If I would represent the number by a line like this one, positive slope or negative slope? Positive slope or negative slope? It will be what, grade 8?
Positive.
Positive. Positive. Do you remember the 4 types of slope? If it's from down to up to the right side, so this is positive. Like the tick right, did you remember? Like the tick right. So this is positive. So that means what? Shows a steep climb as the number of visitors grow quickly. This happened in June and maybe because the school is not for the summer. Okay, so here in this one, June and July, what happened to the visitors? The visitors here in this one, the line told us that this one is increasing quickly. Maybe because we have a summer vacation. Okay, on summer we went to we want to out يعني, or to visit the park many times, not like the school days, right? So this one, the line which is positive slope, means that shows the steep climb as the number of visitors grow quickly. What about line 3? Is there anyone can tell me what is the line 3 donated for? If this one, if this one is constant, let me ask you, this line is constant or increasing? Grade 8.
Increasing. Miss, it's constant.
No, it's not constant, and but it's increasing, but it's slowly. It's not a lot, yani, it's not quickly. Look at this one. It's very clear that the line is increasing. Look at line one. It's very clear that the line is constant. But for this one, it's not parallel to x-axis, but it's increase, right? So this shows that the almost steady number of visitors to the park. So maybe because this one at the middle of the vacation. Okay, then for the graph which we have it in front of us, this is represent the number of visitors to the park. And we want to classify, we want to analyze what happened. Then first we divided this park or this graph into 5 regions. And we want to translate each region donated for what. Then, for the first one, from May to June, the number of visitors to the park was constant. But after that, we note that the number of positive increasing quickly. Why? Because this is the summer and most of the students want to go to the park. After that, the number of visitors, it's almost steady. It's almost constant. Why? Because we are at the middle or the schools is coming soon, so they are preparing their stuff and they are busy. They will not go to the park many times. For this reason, the number of visitors here in this case is steady number. It's not constant, it's increasing, but it's almost steady. What happened after that grade 8? What happened? What line 4 donated to us? Line 4 represent what in this one?
Decreasing.
Decreasing, yes. Line 4 is decreasing. The number of students drop. The number of students, or sorry, the number of visitors to the store or to the park, sorry, drop. Right? Then it's the mid, sorry, so end of August, maybe because the school is starting and the summer vacation is over. And what happened after that? We will note that the number of visitors is increasing till October. Did you see here? The for the line 5, the number of visitors is decreasing till we reach here October. Then again, if we look at the graph, so the graph translate to us the situation. And instead of collecting all the data or talking a lot of time, so we want to know only how we will translate the situations into graph. How we will translate a situation into graph. How we will divide it into parts, and after that we are going to explain each part donated for. Any question about this graph, grade 8?
No.
Any question?
Because it's the starting point?
Because it's a starting point, yes. We started the story from this point. So I said that we have a graph in front of us, and not necessarily every time to say that analyzing graph related to money. It could be to describe a specific situation. So as I said here, Adam, he want to go to Cairo. Okay, then Adam, this positive slope in this case, it will represent that Adam, he will go to Cairo. Okay, then I can ask you a question now. How many kilometers Adam covered to go to Cairo? How many kilometers Adam took to go to Cairo? How you will find the answer? Okay, Hannah Hamdi.
Miss, can I repeat the question?
Again, you have the graph in front of you, right? And we said that this graph related to who? Related to who? To Adam.
Adam.
Is there anyone can tell me the story, please? I forgot the story. Tell me the story. Hmm.
So
Miss, can
he
I
was
say?
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
خلاص sorry.
Okay, go on.
Miss مين؟
Anyone? Huh?
مين؟
Okay, raise your hand. I will check. Huh? Maya, go on, yeah, Maya. Huh? What this story
we're
related
talking about how
about who?
we're talking. It's about Adam, and we're saying how many kilometers he took to go to Cairo.
Yes. Thank you so much. How many kilometers did Adam took to go to Cairo? How we will find the answer? Adam, you was raising your hand. Could you please tell me the answer? How many
40.
kilometers? 40. Thank you. How did you find it, Adam? How did you find it?
Because the point that I arrived at is in 40.
Yes, very good. Because the point, he stopped in this point, right? So we will go to the bar for the y-axis. So we found that Adam talks 40 kilometers to reach Cairo. Okay, this is not the actual numbers. This is not the actual numbers. This is just as an example. Okay, so we can say that here in this one, we donated by a positive slope, right? So the positive slope here, it doesn't mean only that I'm going to increasing money. Okay, I'm not increasing money, but this one because Adam will go to a place. Okay, what happened after that? If there anyone can tell me the next step, what is the second bar donated for? What is the second bar donated for? This one donated for what?
Miss, can I say?
Yes.
It means it's constant. يعني he didn't go for يعني more or less.
He didn't go more or less. Also, you mean that you are talking about money, more or less, right? Gain or loss. But in this
Yes.
situation, as I told you, we are going to describe the graph according to the story. This one, this line means now that Adam is staying at Cairo, right? We started the story that Adam went to Cairo, right? What is the vertical line means here? That Adam staying in Cairo. Who can tell me Adam staying in Cairo for how many hours? For how many hours? Hmm. Adam staying in Cairo for how many hours? How long,
Miss,
Adam?
can I say?
10.
Adam staying for how long in Cairo? Hmm. If you know, please raise your hand. If you know, please raise your hand. Hmm. I'm waiting. Raise your hand if you know. Okay, I'll check who want to answer. Okay, Rashwan, go on.
I think three.
How many hours?
3 hours.
3 hours. Let me count with you, ya Ahmed. We will draw a line here, okay, for this region from here till the last point, like this. Okay, here. Then he reached Cairo at 4, right?
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. Yes, thank you so much. 3.5 hours. Okay, then in this one, we said that he stayed at Cairo for 3.5 hours. From where we know? From where we know? We look at the graph. After that, what happened to Adam? What happened? Hmm. Hmm. Adam slide? Well, what this line means? What this line means?
It's a
Miss,
negative
can I
line.
say?
I know it's a negative slope, but this means what in the graph?
I came
Ah,
outside.
yes, he back to Port Said. Yes, very, very good. Thank you. So as I told you, I can't say here that Adam will back to his home like this. It's impossible. If I will draw the line like this, which means Adam start at 0. Yani, for example, he left home at 7 a.m. in the morning and then he back home at 7. You can accept something like that? You can accept something like that? No, because in this
No.
case, we said that he left home, right? And then he stayed in Cairo for a while, and then he back to his home again. So the negative slope here in this graph means that he back to his home. Did you understand me? So for analyzing graph, it's not necessary every time to say that I'm talking about money, increasing money, gain money, and then he stay the same, and then he lose money. No, we can translate any real life situations into graph. Like this one, we said it depends on the story which he will start with. Did you understand me? So the negative slope means now what? The negative slope means what? In this question, in this graph,
That he moved from
the
moved.
negative sign donated for what? Huh? It's decrease, I know, but it's donate for what? It's decrease. Huh? Donated for back, home, back. Okay? It's not decreasing money. This one means back home. And this one go from the home to a place. Then Adam start from his home, reach Cairo at 4 o'clock. He stayed in Cairo almost 3.5 hours, and then he back to his home. Okay, how long did he takes to back to his home from Cairo till till his home again? How many hours? About how many?
4.5.
4.5. Yes, thank you. 4.5. Okay, then he went to Cairo. He used 4 hours, and then he stayed in Cairo for 3.5 hours, and then he back to his home again after 4.5 hours. We can say now how long he takes for all the journey in his day. How many hours? If I want to answer this question, so I will go where directly? How long he takes for all his journey? How many hours? He stopped where? He stopped where?
4.
At 12, right?
Sorry, at 12.
Yes. So he takes 12 hours in his day to go to Cairo, to stay in Cairo, in a mall, in a theater, in university, anywhere, and then he back to his home. He takes 12 hours. Okay, if I will ask about how many kilometers did he cover in this journey? How many kilometers did he cover in this journey?
40.
It's not correct. Anyone else? Huh? How many kilometers?
Miss, how many kilometers did he end on?
How many? The total journey he takes from him. How many kilometers? The total journey.
30 something. Because it's
Now,
between
let
30
me
and 40.
calculate.
Yes, 80.
80. Who said 80?
Adam.
Adam. Yes, because this is your question here, Adam, right? Excellent. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so in this one, we said he takes how many kilometers to go to Cairo? How many? How many kilometers? We said at the beginning.
40.
40, yes, okay. And then when he will back, he takes how many kilometers? The kilometers, will
40.
change? 40, yes.
40.
Then he will use 40 to go to Cairo, and then to back to his home, it will be 40. right? Then at the end, it should be 80 kilometers. And let me say something. While he's staying in Cairo, we will not count this one. It's more kilometers. I'm talking about the journey to go and to stay and then to back. Did you understand me? So once you have a graph like this, so we can expect different questions according to the story. Number one, for each region, for each line segment, this represent what to talk about the analyzing graph. It depends on the story. Okay, if I will change the story and I will change the name here, and I said this graph talking about the number of visitors to a park. Okay, so this graph now, we will say that the number of visitors in a park. So first we will change the label for the graph. Okay, how? I can divide the graph and I will say that this one during the month, different month. So this is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and so on. And here we can put 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. Then the positive slope now donated for what? The positive slope will donate for what? The graph talking about visitors to park. Then we will change the story, visitors to park. So the positive slope now donated for what? Donated for what? Increasing the number of visitors to the park. And after that, the number of visitors is stable. Then we have 40 students went to the park, and then no change, no one go to the park, and then the number of visitors to the park decrease. Then, as I said, we can change the story, we can change the graph according to the story. Understood this part, grade 8? Grade 8?
Yes.
Understood this part? So we were talking and the slope to compare between any two functions. So we have to compare between the initial value and the slope. And we said that the slope means rate of a change, the same meaning for slope, and we have to find the unit rate. And what is the initial value? The initial value means what? The starting amount of money at the beginning. So rate of a change, same meaning for the slope, same meaning for unit rate. And if you have an equation y equal mx plus b, then m donated for the slope, donated for the rate of a change,